How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, only for tomorrow to never come? Or maybe you get a huge burst of motivation, go in for a week, and then nothing. You're back to square one, feeling defeated and wondering what's wrong with you. I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong with you. The problem is what you're relying on. Motivation. We've all been sold this idea that to achieve our goals, we need to feel motivated. We watch inspiring videos, read success stories, and wait for that lightning bolt of enthusiasm to strike. But here's the secret. The most consistent and successful people know motivation is a myth. It's fleeting, unreliable, and frankly, a terrible long-term strategy. Relying on motivation is like trying to sail a ship using only unpredictable gusts of wind. You might get a good push now and then, but you'll mostly be stuck, drifting aimlessly. So if motivation isn't the key, what is? The answer lies in understanding the true psychology of consistent action. It's not about feeling good. It's about building systems. It's about structure, not spirit. Today, we're going to dismantle this motivation myth and build a real, sustainable framework for achieving your goals, whether they're in your career, your health, or your personal life. Let's start by talking about the motivation trap. When you finally feel motivated, you tend to overcommit. You decide you'll go to the gym for 2 hours every single day. Write 1,000 words of your novel before breakfast and completely overhaul your diet all at once. Feels fantastic for a few days because the dopamine hit is real. But this all or nothing approach is a recipe for burnout. Your willpower is a finite resource, like a muscle. If you max it out on day 1, it's going to be sore and useless on day 2. The first principle of consistency is to forget about intensity and focus on frequency. It's not about how much you do in one session. It's about how often you show up. Instead of a 2-hour gym session once a week, what about a 15-minute walk every day? Instead of trying to write a whole chapter, what about just one paragraph? The goal here is to make the action so small, so laughably easy, that it feels harder to skip it than to do it. This builds the habit muscle without exhausting your willpower. The momentum you create from these small, consistent actions is far more powerful than any short-lived burst of motivation. This leads us to our second, and perhaps most crucial point, designing your environment for success. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, talks about this brilliantly. He says you don't rise to the level of your goals, fall to the level of your systems. Your environment is a huge part of your system. It's the invisible hand that guides your choices.
If you want to eat healthier, but your kitchen counter is covered in cookies and chips, you're setting yourself up for a constant battle. You're relying on willpower to fight a war. Your environment is begging you to lose. So, how do you design your environment? It's about increasing friction for bad habits and decreasing friction for good ones. Want to drink more water? Keep a full water bottle on your desk at all times. Want to read more?
Leave a book on your pillow. Want to stop scrolling on your phone at night? Charge your phone in another room. Make your desired actions the path of least resistance. You'll find you start doing the right things automatically without even thinking about it. And definitely without needing to feel motivated. Let's take this a step further. We've talked about making habits easy and designing your environment. Now, let's talk about the why behind your actions. This is where we uncover your intrinsic drivers. Extrinsic motivation comes from the outside: money, praise, deadlines. It can work, but it's often shallow. Intrinsic motivation comes from within. It's the joy of the process itself, the satisfaction of personal growth, or the alignment with your core values. To find your intrinsic drivers, you need to get curious. Ask yourself, why do I really want this? If your goal is to get in shape, dig deeper. Is it to have more energy to play with your kids? Is it to feel more confident and capable in your body? Is it to manage stress and improve your mental health? It's when you connect your daily actions to a deeper personal meaning, the actions themselves become rewarding. You're no longer just going for a run. You're investing in your long-term happiness. This reframing is incredibly powerful. It shifts the focus from a chore you have to do to a choice you get to make for your future self. A great technique for this is something called temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, maybe you only let yourself listen to your favorite podcast while you're on the treadmill. Or you only get to enjoy your fancy morning coffee while you're working on that important report. You're linking an immediate reward to a habit you're trying to build. This creates a craving, not for the habit itself, but for the reward it's paired with. Over time, your brain starts to associate the difficult habit with a positive feeling, making it easier and more automatic. But what about those days when everything goes wrong? You wake up late, the kids are sick, work is a nightmare. On days like these, even the best systems can feel impossible. This is where the rule of never miss twice comes in. It's okay to have an off day. Life happens. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is. So you missed your workout today. Fine. But you absolutely do not miss it tomorrow. One missed day is an accident. 2 missed days is the beginning of a new, unwanted habit. By committing to never missing twice, you allow yourself the grace to be human, while ensuring that a single slip-up does derail all your progress. This mindset prevents the spiral of guilt and self-blame that often follows a missed day, which is what truly kills momentum. Okay, so let's recap the real strategy for consistency. First, ditch the motivation myth. Stop waiting to feel like it. Second, focus on frequency, not intensity. Make your habits so small you can't say no. Third, become an architect of your environment. Make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Fourth, connect with your intrinsic drivers. Understand your why to make the process itself meaningful. And finally, live by the never miss twice rule. Okay, give yourself grace, but get back on track immediately. Building a life of consistent action is not a glamorous sprint. It's a steady, deliberate walk. It's about building an identity. You're not someone who is trying to write. You are a writer. You're not trying to work out. You are a person who stays active. Every tiny action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. These votes add up, and eventually, it becomes a core part of who you are. That's a force far more powerful than any fleeting feeling of motivation. So my challenge to you is this. Pick one area of your life where you want more consistency. It's just one. And instead of trying to find motivation, try building a system. Make it tiny. Design your environment for it, and commit to never missing twice. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve when you stop waiting for the lightning and start building the lighthouse. Thanks so much for watching. If this video helped you look at your goals in a new way, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building a better, more intentional life. I'd love to hear in the comments what tiny habit you're going to start today. See you in the next one.